Aeron James, if you had to try and come up with a connection between the two shows we're seeing today, what would it be?
Complex villains.
I was going to say either flamboyant plants or moral tales and takeaways, or pay more attention to the singing homeless. That's a good one. Ho ho ho, my god, hey!
Hello!
I can see my breath. It's early and it's cold. We are where, Aeron James?
Wolverhampton, my hometown.
Yes, you are seeing Wolverhampton behind us. We are at the railway station, specifically.
You're not going to see any more of it in this vlog.
No, we are not. We are leaving because we're doing something we do. It's become an annual tradition where right before Christmas there's a lot of great regional theatre offerings in the UK, by which I mean theatres outside of London. And so we usually travel around, usually up to the Midlands in the north. We've done this for the past couple of years, often Sheffield, often Leicester.
Often Leeds.
Yeah. And today, in a round trip, where hopefully we finish back here by the end of the day, if we make all our trains.
2-show day.
We're going up to Salford in Manchester to go and see... Greater Manchester, yeah. To go and see A Christmas Carol, produced by the Hope Mill Theatre at the Lowry, both great theatres. Then hopping over, hopefully very quickly, to Sheffield Crucible for the official press night of Little Shop of Horrors. And then, all being well, back here before the end of the day. Many trains, many shows, an exciting little pre-Christmas adventure. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm always excited.
There you go. There you go.
Musicals.
Exactly. You are always excited.
Well, sometimes.
It's very early. I have a nutcracker hot chocolate, which I ordered without realising what it was.
A
hazelnut.
caramel nutcracker.
Caramel nutcracker.
It's not just hazelnut because it has caramel in the name.
It's very nice. I was like, yeah, I'll have the nutcracker one. And I was like, what does that mean? In terms of a flavour profile.
the latte version.
They're very nice. Keeping us warm, as is this very warm coat. We're going to go get in a train now to Manchester, which is only about an hour and 10 minutes from Wolverhampton. They're all fairly short trains today.
Yeah, it's not too bad. The longest is probably going to be the way back.
Yeah. Hopefully we make all of them on time. We will keep you posted. Today might be an adventure. We have made it to Manchester Piccadilly. Christmas tree somewhere behind me in the station. Train station, Manchester Piccadilly. Iconic statue. Usually when we come here and we're heading to Salford, we stay in the station and then you can go downstairs. There is a tram platform. There are 2 tram platforms in the station, and the tram will take you over to Salford Quays, which is where you can find the Lowry. If you take the tram in the other direction, it'll take you towards the Hope Mill, which you can also walk to, but if you're in any kind of a rush, the Lowry is not walkable. You could also get a bus. It's not particularly near Salford train station, so those are my recommendations. But having just arrived into Manchester with like 2.5 hours, and having discovered that our matinee is only 90 minutes, which is great news, we don't need to get over there straight away, and we don't need to have a giant lunch, because we were worried we wouldn't be able to have dinner, and now it looks like we can have dinner, so we'll have a more lunch-sized lunch. Anyway, arriving into Manchester, this is our view. I'm making Aeron stand in here. Oh, you didn't want to be the clock? You want to be the nutcracker man?
There's a step back here.
Okay.
I'm only this tall because I'm standing on a step.
Be the clock.
I can't, I'd have to duck down. It's the child's height.
I am the clock. Yay. We're here in, I believe, the Victoria Gardens, I think, from previous visits to Manchester. I'm pretty sure that's what this area is called, where there is a whole festive Christmas market area where you can get both festive fare and less traditional festive fare. You can get mulled wine, you can get the sort of German bratwurst moment, you can also get churros, paella, burritos, nachos, dumplings, all sorts of exciting street food. Oh, this looks like Korean corn dogs going on here at Manchester Christmas. Mr. Crimble Crumbles. Ooh, lovely. There's a pancake house, there's chicken, there's a gin bar behind me over here. Love a Christmas gin bar. I'm gonna take a lingering look. Ooh. I'm assuming if we keep searching there will be ice skating somewhere. I don't see it immediately. Maybe that's happening somewhere else. Usually that's another component of these things. We've seen a lot of Christmassy street food moments in New York, in... where else were we recently? In Paris. I sound very, very well travelled. They also have... well, I came here to show you this Merry Christmas sign. It probably looks nicer by evening because the lights will show you... I'm going to have to stand sort of dead onto it for you to read that it says, "You're going to have to trust me." There's a delicacy at this. They have the original coconut macaroon and also scrambled pancake. I think it's not even German. What is that flag? Kaiserschmassen. Is that the Austrian flag? I'm going to... this flag here. What is this? Because I'm intrigued about the scrambled pancake. We have Googled, apparently it is Austrian, but look at these. How intriguing are these things going on here? Kaiserschmarrn, apparently. I like those Nutella-topped ones. Those look delicious. Luxury hot chocolate served in a gingerbread cup. I don't know how that doesn't disintegrate. The viral croissant. I didn't know there were viral croissants going on here. Clearly I've not been paying attention. Got a nice festive starry arch that we're passing through here. Do be aware of the tram tracks in Manchester. So hilariously, we were just walking around the Arndale Centre, and I was saying, oh, because we got time to kill, and we don't really want to do shopping because we don't want to like have lots of stuff to carry with us all day. This is not a Christmas shopping day. And so I was like, can we go to that big square where they sometimes have stuff, and I wanted to see if they have Christmas decorations. And I was trying to describe it, and then the second I was like, that one, I was like, oh, I think there's an exit that goes to it. And then we immediately found it. We were there. Checking the tram tracks so I don't get hit by a tram. But yes, more Christmas market going on here. More German sausage, Bavarian beer, smells fantastic. Ooh, we have Italian sweet treats over here. We've got all sorts of things. S'mores, hot chocolate, various world cuisines, and Porky Pig, home of the famous Yorkshire pudding wrap. I was just saying I could go for some kind of a novelty wrap for lunch. Also Dutch mini pancakes over there. I'm a little put off by the porcine creatures shown on the artwork there. Shan't lie, slightly unsettling. But maybe, am I hungry enough for a Yorkshire pudding wrap? I don't know, I just don't know. I walked in here because I saw festive vibes, and there are many different eateries and bars. Modern Indian dining bar, Vapiano for some pasta or pizza. There's a pho, there's a cozy club up there. Lovely options, and very, very Christmassy. Found the ice skating, which appears to have indoor and outdoor elements, which is smart, the British weather being what it is. We are trying to find the Royal Exchange. I find navigating Manchester challenging at the best of times. Currently every street is covered in little Christmassy market stalls, which are very lovely and very charming, but it is making it harder to get our bearings from the handful of times that I've been here. Oh, lovely. There you go. We just passed the Corn and Produce Exchange, which I think is the building we were just inside showing you that now is full of restaurants. Either that or I'm entirely turned around. But the Royal Exchange has a theatre inside of it. It is a theatre. And it's a very novel one that I would like to show you. I think I can see it because I think it's that like clock tower that you can see up there. So we're gonna aim for that. Ooh, monkey. I was right, this is the Royal Exchange, and if they still have it, they have something inside themed to one of the shows we're seeing today. Also, clock the advertising for Come From Away. That's currently at the Lowry in the other space. We will get a closer look at that today. Sadly, we're not seeing it, which might break our hearts just a little bit because we love the show. But only so much time in the day. We're gonna head into the Royal Exchange. This is the entrance to the Royal Exchange, and you can see their current show, Spend, 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 which recently opened. We were eyeing this. We ended up condensing our trip and not staying for multiple days. We would have caught this if we had been. So if anyone's seen it, let us know in the comments what you thought of Spend, Spend, Spend. Aaron and I, neither of us have ever seen a show at the Exchange. We would both very much like to at some point. And here she is. I was right. She is still here. This is Audrey 2. This is the version of Audrey 2 created almost a decade ago, back in 2015, for the Exchange's production of Little Shop of Horrors, the same musical we're seeing this evening over in Sheffield at the Crucible. But what a fun Audrey 2. And this is the Royal Exchange, formerly used for different purposes, now the home of the Royal Exchange Theatre, which is this space age thing you're seeing in the middle here. It is self-contained, it is in the round, and that is the theatre auditorium. Look, you can see seating up there. It has a few different levels. We can see, I believe that's a staff member in there pottering about. But yeah, that is the remarkable and very unique Royal Exchange Theatre. I at one point was going to do a count of how many Christmas trees we see today, but it would be so many already. There's a lot of little things here about spend. This is interesting. Information here about the history of the show. Fascinating. Look at all these little artifacts there. And a better view there inside the multiple different levels of the theatre, as well as a little bit of a sneak peek of the set as well for Spend. It's that silver thing you can kind of make out in there. We can see the actual playing space, and as you can see, 3 different seating levels inside this incredibly unique and fascinating theatre. I would love to see a show here to find out more about that audience experience. I was feeling brave. Even closer look. There she is. And you can see the board up there for the Exchange's former purpose, which is also appropriate because that's where this afternoon's show, Alan Menken's version of A Christmas Carol, begins, in an exchange hall. We are going for the Porky Pig. I'm going to have a Yorkshire pudding wrap. Erin's going to have a gluten-free carvery box. If you're seeing a lot of bee imagery around us, by the way, there's bees on the bins. The bee, a proud symbol of Manchester, the worker bees. Oh, there is the menu for Porky Pig's Yorkshire pudding wraps. This sign in the queue told me to take a selfie with the Grinch. There he is. Also, I'm standing next to another menu. You'll notice Barm. That's Manchester for roll. In the Midlands, where we woke up this morning, that would be called a cob. I'm from the south, where we call it a roll. Look at all of these giant Yorkshire puddings. Oh, I'm excited. Inside you can get stuffing, vegetables, heapings of gravy, scalloped potatoes or mash. We've got meat options down there as well. It's all going on here at Porky Pig. I have the wrap. Look at her. They toast it, folded in half, which is what helps it keep its shape. Need to go and find Aeron James at this stage. I spot him. He is over there, looking sweet. Sat down, eating his gluten-free box. There he is. I should issue some sort of a cultural explanation. A Yorkshire pudding, it's not a dessert kind of a pudding. It is a sort of a savoury pancake, very airy savoury pancake, usually served alongside oh gosh, hold on. This is lower down than I expected. This is high, excuse me. And plie. Oh wow, okay. That was a lot. A Yorkshire pudding is usually a component of a British roast dinner, like a Sunday roast. It's a sort of a savoury Christmas dinner. It's a sort of a savoury pancake. The concept of a Yorkshire pudding wrap arose within the last few years, and so it's kind of inverting it, where it's serving a Sunday roast basically inside of the Yorkshire pudding, which is very exciting. I'm going to attempt to eat it now. I feel like this is going to get messy, but very excited about this. I've gone for chicken, and I've got all sorts of lovely, delicious things with it. How nice! Festive too. Verdict on the Yorkshire pudding wraps and associated foodstuffs. Aeron James, out of 10 if you had to rate. 7. I'd say 7 or 8. I liked it. It was nice. Did I want a cranberry sauce? I mean, you wouldn't have that with chicken. That's like a turkey thing. You wanted an apple sauce. Yeah. I needed texture. I needed more crisp from the potatoes.
On the side, it said gravy
Yeah.
But then nothing was mentioned about sauces.
I think we needed to order and prepay for additional sauces because they were a costed extra. And you pay first and then you specify fillings and such. So that was probably my fault.
But I agree, like, I think your veg is like potato and I guess the point in this is like the Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So I was kind of missing my like foliage.
Yeah, I just wanted more crispy. I think when the stuffing is like molten, then you miss the crisp. You miss the crisp.
I did miss the stuffing, but like to have a gluten-free option is fun.
Yeah. Anyway, it didn't change my life, actually, the stuffing. It wasn't normally stuffing as my highlight. Stuffing and the Yorkshire pudding themselves, my highlight of a Sunday roast. Anyway, we're gonna potter about some more Manchester shops and then fairly shortly jump on a tram to head to Salford for this afternoon's show. In fact, we have slightly less time than I thought, so we are jumping on the tram right now. We're taking this tram to another tram. Love a tram. We have arrived and you can get tram tickets or you can tap on and off like we just did. Goodbye tram. So this is Salford. These are the Salford Quays. That's also the name of the tram stop we just alighted at. We're passing the Premier Inn where we have stayed before.
Yeah.
Is this the only hotel? Because there's multiple.
I feel like no.
I think we've stayed at 2 of these hotels.
We stopped at this one here.
Hmm.
We didn't do the Holiday Inn Express, did we? No.
We didn't. But we knew people who did last time because
Yeah.
everyone was up here earlier this year for 42 Balloons.
Yeah. I think we've done this one both times we've been here.
Yeah.
When we stopped at Salford, but then we've stopped in Manchester before and then travelled to Salford and gone back to the Premier Inn there.
True. We have also done that. 'Cause it's very north. We are very, if you don't know UK geography, don't worry, because some days neither do I.
It's not very north, but it's the north.
It's very north. It's north enough that you can't make it back to London after a show in Manchester.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very north to me. I'm from the south coast. I feel very north right now. We're about 6 hours up from where I come from.
Yeah, see, for me,
on the train.
For me growing up, I called Manchester like
Slightly north. Yeah.
but like not north.
That's because I grew up thinking you were in the north already.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, we've just been having a hilarious conversation because I have seen Alan Menken's musical version of A Christmas Carol, which we're on our way to now, multiple times, multiple different productions, concert stagings. I've performed in a version of it, which is how I came to know it in the first place, and Aeron was asking me what it's like. My answer to which was it's tonally very similar to the Muppet Christmas Carol, but with people and with Alan Menken music, at which point Aeron pointed out the question I asked earlier: what's the connection between the 2 shows we're seeing today?
They're composed by the same person.
They're both Alan frickin' Menken, which we've been talking about all day.
We've been talking about both of them and talking about Alan Menken and thinking we're literally doing the 2-show Alan Menken day.
Foolish. But yes, this is, I feel like a lesser known gem of an Alan Menken musical because it was never composed for Broadway. It was originally performed, I believe, at Madison Square Garden, and it's sort of, it's hence why it's only 90 minutes in duration.
Which you should never say the abbreviation of, because people would get very confused.
Sure. Yes.
Because they'd think you were talking about food.
They would. Madison, where currently Annie is
with Whoopi
playing
Goldberg.
with Whoopi. Yes. Oh, swans, geese. But it's been kind of revived into the British consciousness by Freddie Tapner and the London Musical Theatre Orchestra, who did it in concert for a few years in a row, and then they did this brilliant semi-staged production that was cut short by lockdown and by like re-entering lockdown and like the different tier restrictions that came into force. I think I saw the last night of that before it got shut down, and Brian Conley made a very powerful speech at the curtain call. Those were very trying times for all involved in the theatre industry. And this production is interesting because it's going to be fully staged, which I've never seen before, and Claire Moore is playing Scrooge. It's a gender-flipped Scrooge. We don't yet know if Claire Moore is playing Scrooge as a man, like how Sigourney Weaver is doing The Tempest as Prospero or if Claremore is playing, if they've written in gender swapping, which I suspect they haven't, but we're going to find out. The other thing around this area is Media City, where television is filmed, including the long-running British soap Coronation Street, and various other things as well. Do they do what else? Do they do Children in Need here? Or am I making that up? They had a Pudsey Bear statue once last time we came.
I think they'll do bits of it because this is one of the...
It's like a big TV hub.
A lot is done here.
Yeah, a lot of stuff moved up from London, right?
Yeah, a lot of the morning shows are filmed up here, some of them. The BBC ones up here. Turns Blue Peter's up here now. Blue Peter, there you go. Lovely bit of bridge here as well that signals to you are nearby to the Lowry. It's this building here that you can see. That I think is... I actually don't know if that's the fly tower. I think you can see the fly tower just over the back there. But this is the very distinctively shaped and designed Lowry. That's Media City over the other side of the bridge. There's an alternate tram stop that you can get, which is the Media City tram stop, which will take you somewhere over there, and then you just cross over the bridge, and that will bring you to the Lowry. You can get boat trips. I didn't know they did boat trips here. Hopefully not as cold as our recent boat trip on the Seine. Aaron's just filming his weekly vlog, which if you don't know, you can find out what we do every week over on his channel here on YouTube. I'll drop a link in the description of this video, and he's just pointed out to his viewers, you can just about see the ITV sign on those studios in the distance, and that other sign that you can see on the further building that says Coronation Street. There you go, and you can tour the Coronation Street set even. We've been to the Lowry a handful of times before, saw Claus the musical here in the smaller space, as well as 42 Balloons earlier this year. And the Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Ocean at the End of the Lane, I think, is the only time I've seen anything in the larger space.
Yeah.
And
It's purple.
yeah, the larger space is where Come From Away is currently. I can already see lots of Come From Away signage, and large school groups. I hope they're here to see Come From Away, but they might be here for Christmas Carol, because that's more like English GCSE obvious, but schools groups to Come From Away would make my heart very happy. I don't know. They're probably in with us, aren't they? It's probably Christmas Carol. It's the 90-minute. I don't think Come From Away is even doing a Thursday matinee.
Well, that's going to be a lot of kids.
It's us and a lot of children. Listen, this happens at Christmas. I've done panto press bookings before. The building you're seeing over there has some eateries. Can recommend Turtle Bay, pre or post show.
Oh, there's a big sign that says Cinderella. Like, what is that? That is definitely not.
There's lots of spaces. I think there's more than 2 spaces. Maybe there's only 2 spaces.
There's 2 main theatres.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what's happening. This almost looks like too many kids for the smaller space.
Man is there.
I don't know. I don't know.
This is just me inwardly hoping, because this does feel too many kids for the small.
Is it just kids and us? That's happened to me before at pantomime. What I was going to say is that's also outlet shopping over there. I've done Christmas shopping there before. I got my dad a lovely shirt from Next, so can recommend. But this is the Lowry, this big old trough-looking thing out the front here, and we can see a poster for A Christmas Carol with the iconic Claremore on the front there. We're going to go inside, go pick up our tickets, programme, etc., and go get ready to go see the show at the Lowry. It seems a little off-brand to show you, but there is loads of fantastic merchandise here from Come From Away. 2 of the company's wonderful understudies are performing today. They've got great merch designs here for the tour. They've got the mat board that you can put a pin in. Look at all of these. I wonder if they've been touring this around, because this seems like a lot of different places. Look, there's a global one over there. Look at all of those different visitors. That's remarkable. That's really wonderful. Here currently in Salford, we're not seeing it today. It's a very spacious venue. We've just passed the Lowry Bar and the restaurant, heading down to the Quays Theatre, which, heads up, is a little bit of transit from the main entrance in the box office. It's a little bit of a walk. Oh, do we think this is where the children have gone? We're in with the children for A Christmas Carol. Got the programme, which did confirm, originally presented by Radio City Entertainment at the theatre at Madison Square Garden. This is the view here from the Quays Theatre. You can see out onto the water and Media City on the other side. We can also see
BBC building there, University of Salford, more ITV over there, in addition to the ones mentioned before, ITV and Coronation Street over that away, and another very fetching bridge, I will say. So this is the Keys Theatre. Can confirm we are in a performance populated largely by a school group. Hopefully they enjoy. And this is the set for A Christmas Carol, the musical. You're seeing a projection on a gauze curtain. I'm very excited. Flicking through the programme, we already have an answer to one question. Claire Moore will be playing Evelina Scrooge rather than Ebenezer, so it is a gender-swapped character. But I wonder if there's actually much change to reflect that. I suspect perhaps not. The ticking, the pre-show ticking, is deeply atmospheric. That combined with the voices of school children, I'm finding as a former educator just slightly disconcerting. Let the stars in the sky remind us of man's compassion. I love that score. Leaving the Lowry after A Christmas Carol. Did you enjoy A Christmas Carol?
It's cute.
It is very cute, isn't it? It sort of musically sounds like it could be happening in the same universe as Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Is how I always, especially like the bum 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 ba ba ba. It also, is this the one that has a melody that sounds like Gallivant, or is that something else? No, Gallivant sounds like Beauty and the Beast. Also, I think the schools group from Bolton enjoyed it, which is nice. Always nice.
School groups.
Oh, doesn't Media City look cool now? Woohoo!
And I've just seen a tram going.
Oh no!
Bye, tram.
Goodbye, tram. I'm not actually sure which tram stop we're going to.
There's one there. There's one.
I don't suppose we'll beat it to the one that the other way.
No.
Oh well, we're going to walk for the next tram because we're not in a rush because that was short, but we are heading next back to Manchester Piccadilly Station to get about an hour-long train journey over to Sheffield for the official press night of Little Shop of Horrors, another Alan Menken musical. Yeah. I should say he wrote none of these by himself. Christmas Carol book and lyrics were by Mike Ockrent and the book was by Mike Ockrent and Lynn Aarons, who also wrote the lyrics. Aarons, better known as one half of Aarons and Flaherty, and Little Shop of Horrors, of course, the lyrics by the late great Howard Ashman. But yes, thoroughly enjoyed that. Very nice time. Lovely. And another very scenic bridge as we head along this very peaceful walk to an as of yet undiscovered tram stop. It's always a very calm and very nice part of the world to visit. I always enjoy coming here very much. Always very tranquil. I assume it's considerably more hectic inside the buildings at Media City, but from the outside, it looks very chill. Oh my god, hey! Currently at Manchester Piccadilly Station. It is 5:15. Our evening show starts at 7. We left the theatre at 3:45. We've been stood on this platform for 35 minutes because the first train that was going in the direction of Sheffield was only formed of 2 coaches and arrived fairly full, and there was an enormity of people on the platform. So everyone who couldn't get on that train, which included us, was advised to remain on the platform and wait for the next service, which hopefully is arriving in the next few minutes. Hopefully will be quiet enough for us to at least board it, even if we don't get a seat. That will take us just under an hour to get to Sheffield. So as long as we can grab dinner somewhere, and that is not, well, it's already slightly delayed, but only by about 4 or 5 minutes. As long as it's not wildly delayed, we will have time to make the show, and everything is going to be fine. I'm telling you, and I'm manifesting it at the same time, because I 80% believe that that's true. I enjoy rail travel, and I'm a great defender of the British train, but they are testing me today. We made it, everybody. We made it. Another train station, another Christmas tree. We are in Sheffield, where people have umbrellas and hoods. Oh, it's sort of like a misty rain. Okay, this is the view that greets you upon arrival to Sheffield train station. This particular area, I remember from last time, very slippery underfoot, so take care. We are going to go, this is a lot of hood I've got going on right now, isn't it? We're going to go search for a very quick pre-theatre snack, really, just to have something. Show's at 7, it's probably about 10 past, quarter past 6?
16 minutes past.
16 minutes past. I reckon I think it's about a 10-minute walk to the station. There's food places just beyond that Aeron has sussed out for us. So we've got about enough time to go and inhale something and then make it to the show. But if I can see the iconic housing development depicted in the musical Standing at the Sky's Edge, I will show you. You can see it from the station platform, actually. I already glimpsed it on the way in. But I will do my best. The curtain is in 20 minutes, so Dinner of Champions here at Wendy's in Sheffield. Woohoo! I have a little chicken burger of some such. Some 180 seconds later, we are out on the street. Here is Sheffield by night, drizzly night. I like the chandeliers. I've never seen this before, chandelier Christmas light decorations. If you're not a UK viewer of this vlog, I should explain that Christmas lights such as these you will see on most British town and city high streets. These are the Sheffield Christmas lights, and they've got little chandeliers, little Christmas light chandeliers. Very Phantom of the Opera. Oh, we're turning around. Aeron is leading us to the theatre, and we have found a sneaky cut through. We are but a few minutes away. We've both visited the Sheffield Crucible a handful of times before. Last Christmas for White Christmas. I was here a few years before, at the same time of year, for She Loves Me, which was very nice. We've been here in the summer for Miss Saigon before, and we are here this evening to see their new production of the musical Little Shop of Horrors. This is the theatre we're going to, the Crucible. Here, you can see next to it a different theatre, that is the Lyceum, the Sheffield Lyceum, where many touring productions visit. But the Crucible tend to produce a lot of their own in-house work, like this production of Little Shop of Horrors. This will be our second Little Shop this year, having caught the off-Broadway production last month before last, on Halloween, basically. Halloween. So within the last couple of months. See previous vlog for that one. We're going to go inside now, because show's very soon. This is the upper foyer level here at the Sheffield Crucible. You don't enter from above like we are right now. I've just been to the bathroom. The doors on your tickets will be colour-coded, so you don't enter via a numbered door, you enter via blue door, red door, orange door, etc. You can get programmes here, they're £5. They're also selling travel mugs and tote bags, although I don't know if they have any in stock. And they have Henderson's Relish, as featured in the Sheffield Crucible originated production of Standing at the Sky's Edge. We're entering via the red door, which is this one right here. So we're going to go inside now, because the show's starting in like 5 to 10 minutes. Oh, look at that! Oh, there's an Audrey 2 colouring wall. Oh, it's a dementia-friendly project. Wow! Oh, they made flowers. I think that's the dementia-friendly project. With the flower. Oh, look, there's 3D Audrey. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is all adorable. I love this. This is fantastic. This is the auditorium. Look at the starry light effect ceiling there. We have seating wrapping around 3 sides of the stage. It's sort of, it's not really in the round. It's on the round on 3 sides. It's sort of thrusty, not dissimilar to theatres like Chichester Festival Theatre. But this is the set design, which I think you'll agree for a production of Little Shop of Horrors is surprising. I'm seeing a donut revolve, that is to say 2 revolves, 2 sets of spinning circles. Oh, the dates tried to change and then it didn't. I'm seeing rubbish bins. I'm calling them rubbish bins rather than trash cans, and I'll explain why. I'm also seeing places where the band is and where neon signage is going to light up. I think I see what says Little Shop of Horrors on the back wall there, but I will have more to report later. Now, Aeron and I already pre-shook because we know very little about this production. We loved the cast, we like the show. They released rehearsal video where they're performing the titular number, Little Shop of Horrors, with British accents. And apparently the whole thing is done with regional British accents, which will be
fascinating. Obviously very different from the off-Broadway production we saw earlier this year, but take a moment to consider for yourselves what that sounds like. That's why I said rubbish bins rather than trash cans. Is it UK set? Is it just the accents? I don't know. I'm kind of here for it, but I'm also... I'm a little concerned, I'm a little intrigued. I'm excited, I shan't lie.
Pick your favourite Audrey 2, because mine is the one with the feathers.
It is the interval here at the Sheffield Crucible. We've just been up in the Adelphi room having a little press night mingle with some of the other critics and reviewers who we recognised to say hello and to chat about the show. So much to tell you, but now is not the time because we are only halfway through. You'll notice some set transformation has happened. You will notice that the ceiling has turned green. I have a little time for this. You'll notice that there are gifts and tendrils at the front of the stage, and that thing, that octagonal thing that was on the stage has risen up. That happened very early on. And the little screen on front now has the agape mouth of Audrey 2, and yet more tendrils. Tendrils every which way you look. Tendrils, tendrils, tendrils across the board. Great news, everybody. We're not running back to the train station because the show came down at about 9:20 p.m, making it... well, I don't know if it runs slightly longer than the 2 hours 10 advertised, or if it being press night, things just ran long, because that happens. Things go up late, intervals last longer. But on our way back to the station, I wanted to show you, behind and above the station, that is the iconic Sky's Edge housing development as featured in Standing at the Sky's Edge, and you'll recognise that central bridge with the neon lighting there from the show's set design as well as its artwork. It's also referenced in the show, so there you go. That production has of course played here in Sheffield at the Crucible, where we just were seeing a little shop. But yeah, heading back to a train now, which we're going to comfortably making this a successful... So I don't want to jinx it because we haven't got on the train yet. I'm pretty sure this is going to have been a successful Northern 2 show pre-Christmas Day. Good job, everybody. We are so early for our train, in fact, that the platform is quiet, and it's not here yet. We've got about a 25-minute wait, so that's fun. And you can still see... There it is, standing at the Sky's Edge, watching over Sheffield train station. I'm sure the first time I came here, it took me ages to spot it, and it was there the whole time. Now, I will be reviewing that little shop of horrors. I wore my... Oh, can I show you this? Don't feed the plants. That's from the off-Broadway production that we've seen now 3 times, including like 6 or 7 weeks ago. But much to tell you about this one prior to me doing a full review. I think I might do a full YouTube review. I wasn't necessarily planning to. I was going to do maybe a shorter, like an Instagram or TikTok one, but I think there's so much to say about that production.
I feel like you'll have a lot to say about that.
I think that's a YouTube review now, which is fun. But prior to that, unless that's already come out by the time you're seeing this, in which case post that, I want to tell you a little bit about the show. As you could tell, visually very different. There were some things familiar from the Regent's Park production from a few years ago, like Sam Buttery playing Audrey 2 as a sort of a dragged plant character, anthropomorphized, coming to life as a human who you could see on stage around the time of Supper Time. Not Supper Time, Feed Me.
Was Latrice visible as well?
I think Latrice was visible, yeah. So, visible anthropomorphic drag queen-esque Audrey 2 with physical theatre entourage with mouths. Those mouths were doing many things. They became a fan. They were like brutal horror elements.
Oh yeah, they definitely went in on the unaliving.
The unaliving, yeah. Regional accents, or just a plethora of British accents. Some of them like giving Londony. Seymour was from Birmingham. We assume it's the performer's own natural accent, but the performer playing Oren, who then plays a bunch of different characters in like the last 20 minutes of the show, used a bunch of different accents for those different characters. But Oren was very like Rick Mayall-esque, Hugh Laurie in Blackadder-esque, very like public school. Like, here's the thing, Seymour, which it was interesting. And we've just been discussing this and kind of having different feelings and coming from different parts of the country and like responding differently to different regional accents used on stage and what that means. That's been very interesting conversation we've just been having here.
It's very weird seeing your own local accent in a show. I think especially for me where like there's only a handful of shows where I've ever heard it and how it's used and how I feel about it being used.
Yeah, and especially when it's like to comic effect.
Context. I think especially if you come from a part of the world where your accent has been used as a comic gag.
Yeah.
A lot, or viewed for class statements. It just, I don't know. It's interesting definitely for me going to see shows with my accent in.
Yeah, and that's not something I've ever thought about because I have a southern RP accent, which is kind of the British default on stage.
I also don't have my...
No, you don't have a particularly strong example of it. But you still feel an association to it.
Well, I think that's why I don't have my local accent, which is a very deep thing. But
there's layers here.
There's layers.
There's layers. We also had like fascinating set choices, screens subtly placed showing a bunch of different things, amazing lighting choices like flashing red at moments of horror and bloodshed. I'm trying to revolve views, some very contemporary choreography moments like shadow performers at the start. So much that I'm going to go away and reflect on. But yeah, kind of big. I would call this Big Shop of Horrors because it's a show that feels appropriately intimate for a small space, and I think you've got to do a bit of work to enlarge it, and I think that work was done. But in many ways, I think this is going to become a conversation a little like Cat's the Jellicle Ball, where it's like, how effectively can you transplant something to a completely different place? Was this a little shop that felt effectively like it was taking place in the UK, or just had British accents? We will discuss.
It is now 11:30. The train is arriving into Birmingham, where we will change for one last train back. I bought this packet of Colin the Caterpillar chocolate cookies, and I ate the entire thing by myself. Couldn't share with Aaron because he can't eat gluten. He had his own snacks, don't worry. I stand by this. I'm choosing not to look at the red numbers at the bottom because any calories you consume on a train after 11 p.m. don't count. I didn't make up that rule, that's the truth. And that was the end of the trip. We did successfully make it back to Wolverhampton.
We did indeed.
Which is a tight squeeze.
Yeah.
All for the sake of not having to spend the night in a hotel. But we when we first planned that trip, it was like a 3 or 4 day.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be a lot longer period of time.
Because there's a lot of things we could have easily seen. Like, we could have easily gone to see Come From Away again at the Lowry. We could have done Spend. Yeah. There are a bunch of things in Manchester. There's a really vibrant theatre scene in Manchester.
Theatre on in Liverpool right now.
There's pantomimes.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any pantomimes this year, which feels almost theatrically sacrilegious.
Did we see any at the start of the year?
Oh, maybe.
I don't think we did.
Did we not do... No, we didn't do Palladium Panto.
No.
Maybe we didn't. Maybe no Panto in 2024.
Wow.
I'm almost ashamed of myself. But we did have a great time on this trip. You can already go and check out my thoughts about Little Shop of Horrors because I did a full review here on YouTube, or you can listen to it as a podcast, thanks to Aeron James. Yeah. Highlight of the little day that we spent? I'm going to say the tram journeys. I love a tram journey, but not the train journeys where I had to yell at the people. No. I didn't yell, but when I told you we'd missed the first train to Sheffield, what I didn't tell you is that the platform was so full of people and a 2-carriage train arrived, and they made an announcement to say, please let everyone off the train first, and people didn't let everyone off the train first. And my former library staff member, former teacher voice came out, and I said, there are still people getting off the train, stop trying to board the train. And then I said, we all heard the same announcement, didn't we? And I didn't even plan to say that. That just leapt out of my mouth. But then everyone did get very quiet and stopped moving. So I was like, good. No one acknowledged it. No one turned to look at me, including Aeron, who pretended not to be with me at that moment in time. But eventually, we got to Sheffield. Sorry, highlight of your day.
Probably it's just seeing Manchester all like festive.
Yeah.
Because it's a kind of a really cool city for that. Even though I've been to Manchester loads of times, I still feel like there's so many areas I've not like fully got used to or visited or seen. Yeah. I've realised that Manchester gives me a bit of a Brooklyn vibe.
Oh, I see that. I love Manchester. I'm a big Manchester fan.
Mm.
It's always good vibes. But yeah, had a great trip. Thank you for vicariously joining us.
Yeah.
I know I've said this in so many videos, but we are now truly winding down for a festive break.
Well, like Lower Manhattan vibe.
Are you still on Manchester?
Like the Village. It reminds me of like the Village.
Oh yeah.
I was like Brooklyn, and I was like, maybe.
No, it's
like
downtown Manhattan.
Dumbo, maybe, but like more.
I think Birmingham is
Manhattan.
more Brooklyn-y.
Yeah.
Birmingham's Brooklyn-y. Anyway.
Comment down below with your thoughts of what UK cities most remind you of in New York. Which one is more like New York, and which area of New York?
Yeah, and also we're pretty guilty of going to the same regional theatres every year. Where would you like to see us travel to next? I think we're both slowly trying to cross off basically every theatre in the UK, and we want to do Ireland, we want to do Wales, we want to do Scotland outside of the Edinburgh Fringe.
I have done Scotland outside.
I know, but I would like
to
do. I would like to do it. Anyway, we don't have any trips booked in 2025. Currently, we have an actual holiday that I'm probably not going to take a camera on because it's a real holiday and we don't do that often. So that is exciting. But in the meantime, let us know where you would like for us to visit.
Yeah.
Because we love theatre and we'll travel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you have enjoyed and that you have a stagey 2025.
Oh.
For 10 more seconds, I'm Mickey Joe Theatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!